I have never been on camera before. And hi. Today I want to review some of the 2026 regular runs that were released slash leaked. And I'm only going to be reviewing traditionals for now because that's primarily what I collect and I think primarily what most people collect. So I'm reviewing them on my computer here, but I will be popping up a photo beside me so you guys know who I'm talking about. So without further ado, let's get into it. And these are just my opinions. You could have totally different ones than I do. You could hate the ones I love. You could love the ones I hate. These are all just model horses. Someone actually painted, sculpted, worked on these. So I'm not going to be like tearing them to shreds or anything because they're all horses, which are awesome. Some of them are just not my taste though, and some of them are my taste. And I'm sure you guys feel the exact same way. So let's get into it. Okay, so first we have Yan Wu. So this horse is for the Chinese zodiac calendar. So 2026 is Year of the Horse. And right off the bat, I'm not a decorator collector. I've tried, I really have. So I will not be purchasing this guy, but he is cool. I do like the color details. I do like the kind of gold mapping that they put on him. I think he's very like striking and stunning, and the mold is really, really lovely too. I've owned one on this mold before, and it is a very cool. It's a cool horse, you know. I will not be purchasing this guy personally, but he is very cool. Okay, we have another decorator release here. So this is Betsy and Ross, and I believe they're on the newer Mustang Marin Full set. Actually, no, sorry, this is not the set that. No, so this it's the Mustang Mare, but it's with the Andalusian Full, which I find kind of weird because why would you not release her with her baby that she came with? Anyways, so this is to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, which is very cool. Personally, again, not a decorator fan. And I think these are very kind of boring and simple. Like, I think they could have done a bit more. I do like that they are clearwear because clearwear models are very popular and they're cool and kind of newer, and people are, really drawn to them. But I find the design is very lackluster and kind of like looks last minute. They were like, oh, it's the 250th anniversary of the country. Let's throw something together. So, again, we'll definitely not be purchasing. And I am kind of bummed because this Mustang Mare is newer and they could have done something really cool for a regular run. Because I'm sure Breyer knows that not everyone is a decorator fan. So it would have been cool to see her on like a actual horse color, but I do like that they are clearwear. Okay, so next we have a political Jess. I don't know much about this mold personally, but it is a portrait model of a racing quarter horse, which I think is really cool. We have so many racing thoroughbred models, so it's cool that quarter horses are getting a bit of recognition in the racing world. I love this horse. I think the horse itself is really cute. I love the little, like, I think those are bird catcher spots. We don't see a lot of models with those, so it's kind of neat that they're trying something new. And the chestnut is done really, really well. Breyer's really been upping their game on chestnuts recently, like not making them look like Cheetos. So I really like this model. I don't collect the mold though, unfortunately, and I'm really picky with the molds I do purchase. So I won't be buying this model, but I do really like it. So I feel like Breyer is really trying to push this model onto us. It's the Crayolo stallion. So this is another portrait horse named, I'm probably going to butcher this, Jagel Hilton. So it is a Crayolo stallion who's from the US. And I just have to say, love the coat color on this. Love the dapples, love the shading. If this was on any other mold, I would buy it so quickly. I do not like this mold. It's just a personal preference. I just don't like the pose that it's in personally. Not a huge fan of the forelock either, or kind of like its back legs look a bit weird, but the color is so good. Like, I just like if they had released this on or Georg or like a Kennebec Count per se, or like, I would be snatching this up so quick. But he is very cool. I do like the color. Just not a fan of the mold. Okay, so now we have the seventh model in the Ideal series. So this is on the Hamilton mold. So he's a really nice Bay Pinto. And I like the Hamilton mold, but I feel like he needs a bit of a break. I feel like there's been a lot of releases on the Hamilton mold since it's been released, and I know that saddlebreds are super popular, but I do feel like we could use a little break from the Hamilton mold. As much as I do like it, I I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see this one in person because I do like the Hamilton mold. I'm not crazy about the color, but I do love the tail shading and I do love a good pinto. But again, it's probably one I'm not going to be certain if I buy or not until I see him in person. So, but he is very cool. And I find Breyer is doing this thing where they're kind of repeating the same molds over and over and over again. And this is just my personal opinion, but I find the Premier Club is kind of overdoing it with the amount of releases. Like, I kind of wish we just got one new sculpture a year instead of three. And I know some people probably think I'm crazy, but then it kind of puts all this pressure of like, oh, we have to use three new molds, we have to use them in regular runs, and we have to use them in event models and Breyerfest, and then the older molds kind of get forgotten. Like, I'm a huge advocate for the Kennebec Count mold. He has not been used in over 10 years now. And there are people who love that mold. And why has it not been used? But then we've gotten so many releases on, like Hamilton, um, Jorg, whom I love. I love Jorg. But we've had so many of the same models being released like mold wise, and I think it's just I would love some attention to some of the older molds that haven't been used in like 5 to 10 years. That's just my personal opinion, but I do love Hamilton, so I'm not complaining about any of these horses by any means. That's just my opinion. This is the first one that got leaked. It is Pluto Gratia or Gratia or Gratia. I am not sure how you say that, but it is a gorgeous Lipizzaner. If you know anything about me, you know that I am a sucker for gray or white horses. I will be purchasing them. Those and chestnuts are like my favorite coat colors and palominos. So as soon as I saw this guy, I was like, I need him because all the releases so far on this mold haven't really caught my eye, even though I do like the mold. So 10 out of 10 will be buying this guy. He is so gorgeous, and he's also a portrait horse, which is always cool to have. I always like when Breyer bases their models off of real life horses. So this guy's my favorite by far. I will for sure be picking him up. Definitely. So now we have this one is kind of the one everyone's got their eye on. It's Gigi Kiss Me Kate, who is a portrait of the she's a portrait of a fellow Breyer portrait horse, the Gypsy King. So she is based off a real horse. And this mold is super popular. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I think she's very she's got so much hair, which I know is accurate. Like Gypsy Vanners do have a lot of hair, but I'm just not a big fan of her pose. She's just not my cup of tea, but I do think she's very pretty. However, I do have to say, I know this is a portrait horse, but why are we getting just a plain black, boring horse? And these socks are not crisp. They're like faded kind of airbrush socks. And personally, I like a crisp sock. So I know it's kind of tough to judge that since it is based off a real horse, but I hope she's got some shading in her and she's not just like a solid black, you know what I mean? But she's cute. She's cute. And I think she'll be really good for people's congas and people who do want to have easier access to this mold because it is very popular. But personally, I will not be bringing her home, but she is cute. This one is tough. So this is Thoren, the new unicorn on the Shenandoah mold. And I know there are some unicorn lovers out there, but I don't like unicorns that much. The only one I have is my Othello unicorn, who I'm actually selling. I really tried to get into like one unicorn that I liked, but they're just not for me. I'm really trying to be a deco person and I just can't do it. But he's really interesting. He's got like kind of like an iridescent shine to him of like blue and purples. I will not be purchasing him. I'm not crazy about the kind of like metallic silver that he is. I think maybe they could have done something a bit cooler than that, but he's cool. Like he's not offensive in any way. Like he's cool. Like he's not one I will be picking up, but he's interesting looking. I do wish they chose a better color for him personally because he looks like a silver metal. But maybe that's what they were going for. But yeah. Okay, this one is so cute. So Breyer has been listening to us collectors saying that we want some more like other animals in the regular run line. I love the other animals. I have a donkey. I have two cows. I have a pig. I also have a zebra on the way. So I think it's really cool that they're listening to us. So this is the black bear and cub set. And I don't think the bears get used that often. I think they were last used at Breyer Fest when they were like those gummy bears or something in the jar. So these are really cool. And I like the shading on their noses, and they're just so cool. I really like that they're doing the other animal molds some justice. So this is one I'll have to see in person if I purchase. They are really cool though, and I do love them. I think I prefer a polar bear personally for my collection, but who knows? I might see these guys in person and just break down and buy them. So next we have this is the Halloween horse for 2026 is Fuego on the Acolteque mold. So I love this mold. I cannot collect him though because he does not fit anywhere. He's a long boy, but love the mold. I love what they're going for. However, I'm not getting Halloween from this. I'm a huge Halloween girly. I'm not getting Halloween vibes from this guy, unfortunately. So it's supposed to be Spirit of the Dragon as a change burns through him before he takes off into the night. He's also glow in the dark, which is very cool, but I'm just not really getting Halloween from him. But he is very cool. Like, if they just release this guy as a decorator, I think it'd be cool on its own. I also kind of wish they did something different because he's kind of got the same color scheme as the Chinese New Year horse. So, but that's just me. I don't dislike him, but I think they could have done something a bit different. But I know Halloween, it's kind of hard because there's only so much you can do with Halloween, you know? So, yeah. Won't be buying him, but he is very cool. I own a couple of the holiday horses or the Christmas horses, uh, but most of them are on molds that I don't really care for, or there's like just a handful of them that I really like. However, I really adore the Winx slash Emerson mold, and this is Holiday Homecoming. So this is the 30th year for holiday horses, and I love this horse. I love the costume. I love everything about it. And the only thing I'm really hoping, and it kind of doesn't seem like it's going to be, I hope that she's matte. And not that like pearlescent that they're kind of jamming down our throats on a lot of like holiday horses. And I get why they're doing it on holiday horses, but I would prefer for the costume to be like kind of the shiny, cool accessory on the model rather than like just slapping a pearlescent kind of sheen on the model. But I love her costume. I love her little face. I love her it's a white horse, so I'm probably going to be getting it. I really like this model, and my mom likes to buy me the holiday horses that I do like. Like for every year for Christmas, she's like, "Do you like the Christmas horse or do you not like it?" So this year, I really liked, or sorry, this past year I really liked the Flash mold one, but I don't collect that mold anymore. But yeah, so last year she did purchase the après ski for me because I do really enjoy the Big Ben mold, but I had to pass on the Flash one just because I don't collect that mold anymore. So this girl will definitely be on my wish list for Christmas next year because I love her. She's so cute, and I love the costume as well. I love like that they use the bits as like a garland type of thing and just the like ornaments on her back. I just love this. So the flagship retailer horse is Gambit on the show jumping pony mold or the jumping pony mold. I really like this mold. I used to conga it, but I just don't really like that big clunky stand, so I sold them all. But this is super cute. I really like this pony. It's a sooty buckskin blanket Appaloosa pony. I think that this guy is going to be super, super popular. I know that the pre-orders are already all sold out for him, so I really like the colorway. Like this honestly looks like a Breyer Fest special run. Uh, this guy's really, really well done. Like really well done. If I still collected the mold, I'd be buying this model so quickly. He's adorable, like 10 out of 10. Okay, so those are all of the traditionals. I might do a separate video going over the stablemate releases, but I really just wanted to focus on the traditional releases. So keep in mind, those are just my opinions. Let me know who your favorite is. Let me know who your least favorite is. Who are you going to be buying and on the look out for? definitely going to be picking up the Lippert guy and the Christmas horse. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.